was in 2012 when we really focused on building our future leaders and looking at our leadership development program. We've been able to offer so many programs, not just to our principals, but also our future principals as well. What excited us about the National Association of Elementary School Principals certification program is that it focused on coaching other leaders, specifically coaching principals and assistant principals. This year we had 15 principals go through the certification program, and this upcoming year we will have 16 principals go through the program as well. It is exciting to be able to hear how they are making a difference for not only our current leaders, but our future leaders as well.
When you first become a principal, one of the things that you wonder is, where do I begin? How do I get started? And having a mentor is that somebody that you can bounce some ideas off of. Maybe go look at their campus to see what their campus looks like, or even go with them to walk their own campus. But basically what you're trying to do is figure out what they're passionate about, where they see the needs and the direction are needed for their particular campus, and then you help guide them and help with through questioning, again, observing, and just walking with them and talking with them. And eventually they will figure out where they need to begin to help their campus be successful.
To start the NAESP experience or adventure, we did a 2-day training where it really helped us as principals, as mentors, really find ways to ask questions to help dig and make our protege think. So for example, in the 2-day training, it may have asked us to, how are we going to ask them questions and not give them answers? For me as a principal, one of the things I know I looked for as a new principal is just give me the answer, help me. And so as a mentor, I struggled and was concerned that the first thing I was going to do is just give them an answer, and that would be my answer, and it wouldn't be a way for them to grow as a principal. So I think during the 2-day training, one of the biggest takeaways for us is learning strategies to make our protege really think for themselves critically so they can develop who they are as a principal themselves.
The 2-day immersion training, we talked about what is it to be a mentor, how do you mentor, and what are the benefits of someone having a solid mentor in their lives. As a mentor, you want to provide really solid feedback, and a lot of that is listening, probing, and asking questions so that the person that you're mentoring is reflecting on what they're doing and their outcomes, and you don't give answers. You want them to create it and identify it for themselves so that they're more reflective in their leadership, that they can continue to grow, and that at some point you're not really needed, but you want to grow them in their leadership capacity.
My goal with coaching is to accelerate the navigation through that steepest part of the learning curve. My new protege this year started the school year 2 weeks late because of Hurricane Harvey. That's not something I experienced, but there are some common themes in the principalship. Example, collaboration, culture, community, decision making. So I just continue to ask questions, to probe thinking, to hopefully be sure that the protege is thinking broadly and deeply about those topics and applying them to whatever situations they may face.
This year, I had the privilege to mentor an associate principal in the district, and as a former associate principal, we got to talk about building school culture by motivating the staff, looking at motivational strategies throughout the year to especially build the culture with the staff. She is at Cypress-Fairbanks High School, and they are deeply rooted in the Bobcat Fight Never Dies, the BFND spirit, and what they wanted to do is take that spirit and make it more school-wide. It is school-wide, especially with the students, but they didn't want it to be as inclusive. They wanted it to be for everyone. So through conversations, emails, texts, we work throughout the year just brainstorming ways to spread that BFND spirit to all.
The NAESP program, to me, has really helped me develop my skill set with my own current administrative team, and has allowed me to understand those different individuals. They're in different places in their leadership careers, and so some of those conversations are very different. But it has allowed me to refine how I work independently with those. So that's been another plus with this program. It's been very beneficial to me personally in how I deal with my administrative team.
I was empowered to mold the role of the principal to fit the needs of the campus instead of being provided a script to follow. We had weekly face-to-face meetings. We would do dual walkthroughs, instructional walkthroughs, where we would calibrate our instructional lens for first-time quality instruction. There would be times where we would do solo walks, which would allow him to interact with students and staff outside of my presence to truly get the temperature of the climate and the culture of the campus. And one of the last activities that we completed this year, he differentiated coaching for me by providing a template of menu options from which I could select the coaching strategy based on the time of the year, based on the needs of the campus, the needs of the students, or based on my needs.
Lastly, I'd like to talk about the obligation that we have to pay it forward. I think as a principal and as a principal coach, it's important that we continue to provide mentoring and coaching to aspiring principals and aspiring leaders. We have an obligation in public education to really make this happen. And knowing how the challenges that we have on a day-to-day basis with principals, it's very important that we be there to support them and encourage them on a day-to-day basis.
You'll be able to find additional information about our leadership development initiatives at www.cfisd.net. NAESP, we appreciate the opportunity that you have provided us, and you are making our leadership development program even better. And with that, remember, always be better today than you were yesterday.